Hey everyone. So, a couple weeks ago, I decided to revisit one of my favorite childhood TV shows, Jackie Chan Adventures. If you're like me, you didn't have cable, and after school you got home, raided the cupboard for some snacks, and watched cartoons to decompress after school. I didn't find this show until about 2004, seeing as by then I was only 10, but yeah, it was everything I remembered. So here goes, Season 1 review of Jackie Chan Adventures. I'll start off by saying I don't remember any of these episodes. I can confidently say this was my first viewing of them, and I was absolutely hooked. We open up with Jackie Chan, the archaeologist, leading a group through the tomb. Traps and chaos ensue, and our hero barely makes it out. We are introduced to Valmont and the Dark Hand, an evil group of henchmen who are also searching for artifacts. Jackie returns to his home in San Francisco, where his uncle runs an antique shop. Shortly after returning, his niece Jade shows up at the door, sent from China by her parents to live with them, in hopes of teaching her some respect. Ever crafty though, she sneaks away routinely on missions. As it turns out, it's not the artifacts that are important, but the talismans inside them. Magical runes that each possess a different power to transfer to whoever holds them. Keep in mind though, everybody except Uncle and Jade believe the magic. It'll take nearly the entire season to fully convince Jackie, who is still reluctant, by the way, about being a secret agent. We're also introduced to Section 13, who is basically akin to MI6, a spy organization, who offers Jackie Chan the job to hunt down the remaining talismans. That's a lot for the first episode, but the writing and execution is absolute perfection. There are no extra lines of dialogue, every scene makes sense, every character's introduction makes sense, or at least as much sense as one can in a world where magic and sorcery exist. The artwork is simple, but even still, it looks really good. Each of our three main characters are relatable, and the villains, though quite incompetent, are nevertheless intimidating, relentless, and certainly entertaining. One of my favorite parts, though, is that each episode ends with a quick interview with the real Jackie Chan, where he answers questions submitted by viewers about his life and Chinese culture. And honestly, it's so heartwarming and interesting just to hear about Jackie's life, his upbringing in the film industry, and the insight that he offers as a window into Chinese culture that this whole show does. It's a really, really beautiful way to do it. I also am ashamed to say that it took me until the second season, at 29 years old, to realize Jackie Chan doesn't voice his character in the show. Though he is certainly still involved in the show, evidently he was too busy on other projects to actually voice the character. That said, I could easily see him graciously handing that role to James C., who voices the character of Jackie Chan. These 13 episodes in Season 1 follow the same format over the course of the season, revealing new talismans, their powers. They travel to all different sites around the world, and ultimately the fate of humanity is at stake, and it's up to Jackie Chan and crew to save it. Jackie Chan is everything you'd expect from an adventurer/father figure to be, and Jade is awesome. I honestly don't see why some reviewers give her hate. While certainly she causes trouble, she's also just a kid who wants affection and attention. And she's also responsible for many of the crafty and witty solutions, demonstrating time and time again her worth to the team. Her only real flaw is that she's too young to be going on these adventures. And honestly, I find it very entertaining how she routinely sneaks onto these missions. I mean, sure, half the time they would have gone smoothly without her, but the other half the time we see some incredible intuition, and her ability to use the talismans to their full extent cannot be underestimated. She is wicked smart, incredibly crafty, and definitely loves Jackie and Uncle. That to me is honestly what she's missing back home, most likely. It's never stated, at least not yet. I'm through the second season, but we know her parents are strict. And as the series progresses, we see her go from a rebellious kid to a cunning, strong, independent young girl anybody could aspire to be. I know that's kind of a quick review, but I guess it's mainly because it's just well written. It's a simple show. The plot is fairly straightforward and basic, but it works. It makes a lot of sense. Even for being in a fantastical world, they still are grounded in reality. Jade is only 12. She cannot fight a grown adult unless she has the magic of the talismans. She can outwit them, but for being a kung fu movie, this is fairly grounded in reality. It's basically Chinese Indiana Jones meets Scooby Doo. It is a really, really good time. Well, that's all I got for today. If you haven't seen this show, it's on Amazon Prime. I'm not getting sponsored for this. I just absolutely love the show. I'll put out a Season 2 review in the coming weeks and go into more detail about the characters. And I just want to say, Jackie Chan, if you're watching this, you are absolutely awesome. Have a great day, everybody.